Kamuzu Banda, he quite aligned with the Western capitalistic values, other than most of the countries they were aligning with the more so the Eastern socialistic values. And again, also Kamuzu Banda took the side of the Apartheid South African government. Hello, friends. Today I've taken you to a place that is called Capitol Hill here in Lilongwe. This is a plot of land that houses government buildings. Yes, so I just want to give you a historical context of how this place began, how this place was built, and it's quite interesting because it has got everything to do with the South African apartheid government. During the apartheid era, Kamuzu Banda, who was the first president of Malawi, that is after the Malawi colonialism, and you can also check above, the link that I've provided above. I was talking about the history of Kamuzu Banda when he was in the United States of America, the letter that he had written to his uncle. Yes, and I also expressed the fact that Kamuzu Banda was quite interested to come back to Malawi from United States and to help his people. So this is quite the dream of Kamuzu Banda, and it came to materialization in 1958 when he indeed came back, and he helped to fight the colonial government during that time. Of course, Kamuzu Banda was later on arrested, and he was sent to then called, he was the Southern Rhodesia in Zimbabwe at Gwero prison. He was arrested in 1959 by the governor of the Nyasaland, which is now Malawi, Roy Welensky, and he was sent to prison there. But when he became president, Kamuzu Banda, he quite aligned with the Western capitalistic values, other than most of the countries they were aligning with the more so the Eastern socialistic values. And again, also Kamuzu Banda took the side of the Apartheid South African government because he believed that diplomacy with the Apartheid South African government would achieve better positive results than isolation. Because most of the countries in Africa, the Organization of African Unity, OAU, it believed in isolating apartheid South Africa, while Banda took a unique position such that he even spoke at the OAU meetings that he sided with apartheid South Africa because he wanted to take a diplomatic route than an isolationist route. So that was the unique position that Dr. Banda took. So he had quite a very interesting relationship with these people, to the point that the South African government, that is the apartheid South African government, gave him a loan to build this magnificent place that I'm showing you here. Okay, right now we are just moving on the perimeters of this place, but I'll go inside for you to appreciate the kind of construction and infrastructure development that happened using those loans from the apartheid South African government. Quite a lot of money, huge monies. When Kamuzu Banda became the first president of Malawi, he moved the capital city from Zomba to Lilongwe. There were a number of reasons why he moved the capital city. The first reason being that when he was in prison in Gweru, Zimbabwe, Harare, he had a dream. That is a literal dream. At night, when he was sleeping, he dreamt that the capital would be moved from Zomba to Lilongwe. That was the dream. So he wanted to get that materialized. The other reason why the capital city was moved from Zomba to Lilongwe is that during the colonial government, they were holding these geological studies that revealed that Zomba was lying on a line of tropical cyclones and earthquakes. And during that time, a number of cyclones and earthquakes had taken place. So the colonialists themselves had decided to move the capital. They were considering 3 other places, like they were considering Blantyre, they were considering Lilongwe, and they were also considering Ncheu. When he decided to move the capital from Zomba to Lilongwe, Kamuzu Banda wanted some financing to do that. How do you move a capital? And you can imagine during that time in the 1960s, this was more, a place was more of just a forest. It wasn't built up at all. Kamuzu Banda decided to ask for a loan from the Apartheid South African government. And indeed, they gave him money, a lot of money, amounting to 3 million South African rands. And you can imagine, in the 1960s, so this is one of the buildings here, one of the ministry buildings here. When Banda wanted to implement his dream of transferring the capital city from Zomba to Lilongwe, he approached the British government, but they refused to give him a loan because they were used to be our colonial masters, but they refused to give him a loan. So after that, he decided to approach the Apartheid South African government. In 1968, he was granted that loan. He constructed this land for 5 years until he came up with this magnificent place. You are going to witness all these buildings that are here were built in, during the first years of Dr. Banda's rule, using the financing loan from the Apartheid South African government. Yeah, so there were also other infrastructures that were constructed, like the Capitol Hotel. Capitol Hill, it's literally only a kind of a hill. As you can see the view there. Okay, that is the other side. So it is literally only a sort of a hill. So it's quite a big investment that happened during that time. So here is another building here that was built using this money. So everything here, literally, that you can see, everything. You can see principal secretaries, you can see here all these cars, the head of planning, head of what have you. So the Ngoni were running away from the Chaka Zulu wars. They came here, Zwangendawa came here to Malawi, and they settled. So we've got Ngonis in Mzimba, we've got Ngonis in Mchinji, we've got Ngonis in Ncheu. Yes, I think we also have got Ngonis in Doa. Yeah, so they came here running away from the Chaka Zulu wars. But my emphasis today is just about this Capitol Hill place that has got all these government buildings, and they were built using this is another building actually, and you can see they almost look similar. They almost look similar. The design of these ministry housings, they look quite similar. Yes, so yeah, that is the history for you. I'll just be moving. I'll just be moving slowly here in Capitol Hill, and you see the kind of relationship where it came from between South Africa and Malawi. We come from afar indeed. Not trying to glorify apartheid South Africa or anything. All I'm doing is to capture the history. I'm trying to capture the history. I'm not glorifying apartheid South Africa. I know it wasn't good, but I'm just trying to capture history and also to relay the type of diplomatic relations that Kamuzu Banda took, because for him, he believed that he would rather side with the apartheid South Africa. Having a diplomatic relationship with it would be more fruitful than isolating apartheid South Africa. That was Dr. Banda's position. But I think he was also more like looking at the economic benefit that the country of Malawi would have. Then it was called Nyasaland. He was just looking at the economic benefit that Nyasaland would have by associating with the apartheid South African government. Especially also, as I've said, he was taking more Western capitalistic values than other countries that were taking more Eastern social values. Here is another building. Here's another building. I'm just moving in the perimeter, and I'm going in at some points and moving in the perimeter. Yes, quite a massive building, as you can see, quite massive. One of the government offices as well. After the ending of the apartheid era, most people think that South Africa is regressing. I don't know how true is that, but those who've got some historical context for South Africa, they believe that it's regressing since that time. Why is that? Why is that? We don't know. Is it failure? Maybe we were not prepared enough to hold positions of leadership, leading our own countries. But sometimes I really think that Africa was jump-started into development. On the far end there, in the horizon, is the Kamuzu Palace, the president's house. There in the horizon is the president's house. No, it's now been hidden by these trees. Yeah, but I could have shown you, as I said, this is on a hill. So in the far end there, in the horizon, somewhere there is the president's house there. Okay? There is the president's house. Yeah. So what are my personal thoughts on the state of development of African governments? After the end of colonialism, after chasing away all the whites, after reclaiming our power here, what are my thoughts on the state of development in for African governments? Really, when I'm talking about African governments, believe you me, I'm not referring to the northern part of Africa, where there is Egypt, Morocco, Libya, at that side. No, because those people, I classify more of to be of Arabic descent, and also I classify them more to be not only of Arabic descent, but I don't know, maybe some are Persians, I don't know, but that side. The Egypt, they started with the hieroglyphics, but when I'm referring to Africa, I'm talking about especially from maybe sub-Saharan Africa or something like that, Black Africans. Yes, so the state of leadership after the end of colonialism. But where are we? Because most of the economies here in Africa, they are spiraling downwards. We are on a steep slope, spiraling downwards. That is what is happening with our politics. The countries that the Africans are ruling, we have reclaimed our power, but infrastructure is going down. Development is going down. Even you're looking at South Africa, people who know South Africa best, they insinuate that the country is spiraling downwards. They are regressing. If you can compare the state of South Africa during the Apartheid era and now, a lot of people, they would know. And you look at the utilities, the water problems, you look at the electricity problems, you look at so many governance problems. My own theory is that as Africans, sorry to say this, but I think we are jump-started in our development. Because for somebody to develop effectively, even when you look at a child, they have to be breastfed the milk. They start with this milk. Even Paul, in his epistles, he also makes reference to this, that as a baby, you first start with the soft things, the milk. When you coming from milk, the soft porridge. Coming from soft porridge, that's when you are now introduced to hard stuff. Okay, from soft porridge, you are introduced to the hard stuff, like the hard porridge. If you are here in Africa, the pap, the nsima, or the ugali, you eat the meat, but before then you just eat maybe the soup, the sauce. Yeah, but as you are growing up, you are no longer eating the purees, you're eating the hard stuff. But like in Africa, when the white man came here, we were jump-started to this whole thing. They were already exposed where they were coming from, and they just brought these things and assumed it on us. So it's like we adopted things that we had not really put much thought into developing. So if you just adopt some theories, if you just adopt some development that you haven't thought of yourself, how can you sustain that? So my theory is that we need to go back to the drawing board. Yeah, because we are not given the chance to develop ourselves. Yeah, we are jump-started to development. We are given such a leap start. I believe that as Africans would have, through experience, had a better understanding of governance. They had put in place their own structures. They had put in place their own chiefs, their own kings, and they would rule themselves during that time. But it's only when this development came that it kind of like introduced new stuff that we had not built ourselves. So it jump-started us, our thinking process. That is why even now, we are more of consuming, we are not building. And as I've said, I'm not trying to talk bad of Africa, no, but I'm just trying to say, what can we do? We can do much better. We can do much better. And we are not doomed, but we have to go back to the drawing board. Let things spiral out of control. Let the ship sink, okay? Let the ship sink. And when it sinks, the remnant will come back with the lessons on how to develop. Will come back with the lessons on how to progress. The remnant will come back with the lessons. So that thinking process, because when you are developing as a person, you are not supposed to skip a stage. If once you skip a step in your development process, you are no longer normal. So I feel like for Africa, the sub-Saharan Africa, or for Black Africa, we skipped a process somewhere. A process was skipped in the development, you know? Yeah, because the white man just brought everything else. I'm not trying to blame the white man, but I'm just saying a process was skipped. From the Stone Age to the Iron Age to whatever age, until we would have reached an internet stage, whether it would have been in 2200 or whether it would be in 2500, whichever year it would have been, but at least we would have developed ourselves. So I've just taken you through this Capitol Hill, where the government offices are, and that's outside of the Capitol Hill. And I'll also show you another infrastructure that was done by them using the loans from the South African government. Of course, some of the funding, it also came from elsewhere. It did not come from South Africa, it came from elsewhere, but a majority of the funding, like the 3 million South African rands, yes, the majority, it built this. Even the fact that some funding came from elsewhere, but a majority of the funds, 3 million of the funding, is not little. It's not little. It's much. It's much. And just imagine that this time, the Britain had refused to give us a loan. We only managed to acquire it from the South African government, from the Apartheid South African government. Yeah, we've got a lot to work on, Black African governments, in order to improve. Even if you look at Malawi right now and compare it to when Dr. Banda was in position, Dr. Banda started well, if I might say, truthfully. Maybe because he was trained outside of the country. I don't know. The President Wormwood Hotel and the BICC were yesterday, last week. You can check on the previous video. And today I want to show you this infrastructure again. This is called the Capitol Hotel. It was also built, it's just close to the Capitol Hill. It also built a long time ago. So did I mention that the Capitol Hill was built from around 1968, 1969 to 1974? Took only 5 years to build that massive place. So you can see the efficiency that was there during that time, Dr. Banda's rule. They were quite efficient. Only took 5 years to construct all that infrastructure. It took 5 years. Yeah? And it was opened on 1st January 1975. That is when the Capitol Hill was opened, and the capital moved officially from Zomba to Lilongwe. And this is another infrastructure. This is what we call the Capitol Hotel. As you can see, has got a rustic look. It is quite an old building, 1960 something, 1970 something. This is when it was built. Yes, so you can just see the look of this hotel. Yes, and it was all built also partly using the funding from South African Apartheid government during that time. It's one of the hotels, well-known hotels here in Malawi. Is it a 3-star or 4-star hotel? I'm not sure. But really, I've seen the services are quite good here. And as compared to when the age of this place, the services are quite good. The staff are well trained. And even the look, it looks nice. if you would move around. I like coming here on the weekends, just to relaxing. I like going to the swimming pool. Yeah, so this is the structure here of the Capitol Hotel. Is still standing now, but it was done using the loan from Apartheid South African government, as I've said. Yeah, I don't know if you guys would want me to go out and take better pictures there, but I'm very tired right now. But you can just see the landscape. Maybe it wasn't like this prior, but here is the structure itself of the Capitol Hotel, and it was all built in the 1970s. Yeah, with this loan from South Africa. Yes. So yeah, there are so many benefits that we got, and we really cherish the relationship that we hold. Malawi and South Africa, we hold such a historical relationship, and at least we should maintain. We should maintain this relationship. We should maintain. Yeah, you know that there are many things that are happening, like xenophobic attacks on Malawians. Of course, someone might say, no, they are illegal immigrants in South Africa. That's why they are being targeted. I've read of a woman who was refused health care in a hospital. I've read about people who were literally, the lives were taken away just because I'm trying to reverse into parking right now before I could show you some of the things here. I'm trying to reverse back. Yeah, so I've read a lot of bad stuff that have ever happened to Malawians in South Africa. Yeah, so some of the people even who are there legally, I understand they are also targeted. Some of the people who are in South Africa legally, I understand they are also targeted. So, which is not good. We hold a wrong relationship. And I've also said, we've got South African tribes here, people who came from South Africa, from the Zwangendawa heritage. Okay, they came here, the Ngonis. They were running away from the Chaka Zulu war. If you know, Chaka Zulu was a warrior, a famous warrior from South Africa. Very famous warrior from South Africa known as Chaka Zulu. So these people were escaping him, and I think I can just have some food here as well. I can just have some food here at the Capitol Hotel. All right, so guys, you haven't seen me today. Move the camera and show my face for a bit. Yeah, but I'm loving. I like coming to this place, Capitol Hotel, just because of the kind of climate here. It's quite cool. It's well. There are a lot of trees here, so I really love coming to this place to chill down. My kids, they come here maybe to swim. We come here for lunch, and I've also made a decision to have lunch here. So yeah, guys, I hope you're enjoying the historical lesson. I may not be as accurate, or sometimes also my position may be a little bit controversial, but well, everyone is open to have their own opinion, just as you are open to have your own opinion, and you can say it. It's a free world. Yeah, this is my position, my opinion on the development in Africa, especially the sub-Saharan Africa, because I consider really, literally, Egypt and other northern African countries to be outside Africa. They are more of Arab descent people, and also more of maybe Persia. I don't know their ethnic backgrounds. But when I talk about Africa, I'm talking more of the sub-Saharan African, the Black Africans, the type of governing that they are doing, or lack of governing, the politics and what have you. Yes, here is it, the Capitol Hotel. Yeah, it's quite an imposing structure. If you come to Malawi, especially in Lilongwe, you want to have a place to sleep, this is one of the places that you may consider. Last week I showcased the President Hotel there at BICC, Bingu International Conference Center, and today I'm showcasing this hotel. I'm not getting anything from this, but just because of the historical context that I'm trying to portray of Malawi, that is why I'm here. and I'm trying to promote this place. Not that I'm getting paid, even though I would have loved to get paid for the work that I'm doing. Yeah, and I know that they also hold weddings here in these tents. These tents are very, very new. It's not an old thing. I think they were built in the past few years. They hold weddings, meetings in these tents. But my focus is on these structures of the Capital Hotel, courtesy of South African government. Yeah, so it's quite a big structure. I don't know. What are your impressions of this place, starting with the Capitol Hill and then coming here to Capitol Hotel? What are your impressions? What do you think? Just comment in the comment section below. Let me know what you think about this place. What are your impressions? Yeah, and also the historical information that I've shared with you. What are your thoughts? I would love to hear that. I'd truly appreciate that. Or maybe if I've missed at some point, I'd love to hear from you. This is where the swimming pool is. Yeah, a very old infrastructure. Started a long time ago, finished in the 70s. Yeah, so as you can see, here we are. Here we are. This is where the kids, they come to swim. I also come to swim sometimes. Only that now I haven't paid up my subscription, so I think it expired. I'm not sure if it expired, but it definitely, I can't come to swim right now. Yeah, but yeah, there's also a gym there. Sometimes I also come for massages here. Capital Hotel. Yeah, it was done a long time ago, during the Kamuzu Banda era. Mulipo akulu? Tilipo. Nditu. Tilipo tuweze. Basa wanu mango jambula. Kuti Capital Hotel nduku. Nditu. Koma tsogolo muti mmene kwambira ulentha mutibwera ndi ana zasambira umeneko. Komanso wang'ono uja ofuna azapitirize ma lessons ake osambira. Nditu. All right. Tipezeko lunch uku. Yes, ma'am. Zikuenda? Zabuno bwino. Ofuna tibwere nthawi inake massage. Basi kuzizira. Kuzizira. All right. That's where I got you. Mulipo. All right. So you can see, I know a lot of people here because this is my go-to place if I just want to. Okay, at least you are assured of the consistency in the quality of food that you get here, unless other places, okay, that sprout out. They may start with good food, but later on, after a while, you find that they have started making poor food. Very poor. So I'd rather come here because I'm assured that list of consistency. It is not the best cuisine that you would have, but I think it's okay. It's okay, comfort food, if you want that. So yeah, this is where I come sometimes. And there's also another video that I made about jazz in Malawi. Jazz something. I also came here and I had food here. Yeah, so this is what I want to try to you, and I'll be having food here. It's a buffet. I'll just ask about the prices of the buffet. Yeah, so I hope it will be within my budget range, this food, and I'm going to enjoy it. Yeah, there is barbecue food here, and I think today is a traditional day. As you can see, if you say now wouldn't go and go the lunch. Not 3 course, not 3 course, not 3 course, but just the main course. Yes, main course. Okay, in a la carte in the farm main, yeah, la carte. Okay, all right. Okay, so the cost of a buffet is 50,000. Yeah, for me, I just want an a la carte. Okay, guys, my food is here. As you can see, this is the oxtail and rice. Just a bit of vegetables, some carrots and green beans here. And here we've got some oxtail. Yeah, it's good food. Comfort food. Comfort food. This is oxtail. Maybe I might take this as a takeaway. I don't know if I can finish all this meat. So let me test a little bit. Actually, they brought me some starter here. These buns, but I didn't want them. I thought they would spoil my appetite. I chose just to ignore. Yeah. Yeah, the food is good. And the oxtail is also cooked. So I'm just enjoying here. The rice is very good as well. This is premium Malawi rice. This is Kilombero, what we call Kilombero rice. Whenever you come to Malawi, if you're not from here, please don't miss taking on Malawi. You know, I always struggle when I go outside of the country because the rice that I usually find is tasteless. Okay? But this particular rice, the Kilombero rice, is very tasty, very tasty. And I haven't found any other like this. Okay, you can talk about the basmati rice, you can talk about other types of rice, but for me, this is number one. I don't know whether because I've grown eating this type of rice, but it's the best, the Kilombero rice. I love meat, specifically beef. I'm a meat eater. I love meat and fish, beef and fish. Not too much of pork or not too much of goat, but beef and fish. So guys, having reached this point, we've come to the end of this particular video. I hope you have enjoyed the history of Malawi, how we came about to build the Capitol Hill and also the Capitol Hotel using the finances, the loan from the apartheid South African government.